Most AI in business return nothing. That's not my opinion. It's what the owners themselves report. And I'll put the survey on screen in a second, but here's the part nobody says out loud. The businesses getting a result and the businesses getting nothing are running the same technology, the same models, the same tools available to anyone with a card. What's different is how the thing was built. So I want to walk you through the 18 decisions that go into building one. Same job every time. One versus loses the lead, one version books it. This is PwC. They asked 4,454 CEOs across 95 countries one simple thing. Did AI actually move your numbers? 56% said no significant financial benefit, nothing. 12% got both sides of it, lower costs and higher revenue. That's 1 in 8. And all of those companies bought roughly the same AI. They're all pulling from the same short lists of models, so the AI can't be what separates them. The build is. Think about the restaurant in your town that's been packed for 20 years. Same recipe, same service, every single time. Well, the person you know who owns 5 businesses and all 5 make money. Same playbook, different market. Nothing that works twice is an accident. There's always a formula sitting underneath it. An AI agent is no different. There's a formula for one that actually books appointments, and there's 18 decisions inside of it. That's the whole video. Decision 1, and it comes before everything else. Which engine is running the thing? Most people pick on price per message because that's the one number that's easy to compare. Then he forgets what it asks 2 messages ago, or he talks about booking the job instead of just booking it. Or it just quietly stops following your instructions somewhere around turn 3. A stronger engine costs you more per message, but it costs you less per lost job. Here's what that looks like from the outside. The lead gives you the day and the address in one message. The cheap one asks for both again. Watch the last line on the left. That's the sound of somebody deciding you're not worth the effort. Decision 2 is how the message ends. Most AI ends on a statement. It tells you everything it knows and then just sits there. Let me know if you have any questions, is where the threats go to die, because there's nothing in it to answer. A question is the only thing a person can reply to. One question, never 2 at once, because 2 lets them pick which one to ignore, and usually they ignore both. Same information, 2 endings. The one on the left is polite, complete, and gets you nothing. The one on the right asks about mornings or afternoons and gets 1 word back. Now, 1 word is the whole game. The thread is open, so you still have a customer. Decision 3. Shape. You've got a text from a business that landed as one huge block, and you didn't read it. Nobody does. Not because the words were wrong, but because it looked like homework. Break the same words into 2 to 3 to 4 messages. Paste like somebody actually typing, and it gets read. And links stay in one piece because half a link is a dead link. Left is 1 bubble. Right is 3. The offer inside them is identical. Your eyes already picked 1 before you read a single word of either. And your elite eyes does exactly the same thing. Decision 4. What it can see before it opens its mouth. Most setups handed a paragraph about your business and nothing else. And it walks in cold on every single message. Built right, it already has what they typed into your form, the last 25 messages between you, and a summary of every call they've had with you. And that gets loaded on every turn, not just on the first. Same checklist, filled in 2 different ways. 1 row on the left side, 4 on the right. Nothing clever is happening here. The right-hand side was simply stop guessing at things you already know about this person. Decision 5. Most businesses run voice in one system and text in another, and the 2 never speak. So somebody calls you on Monday, texts you on a Tuesday, and gets hit with Hi, how can I help you today? They already told you how. Built right, voice and text share one head. It knows the call happened, what it was about, how it ended, and what kind of mood they're in. 2 lanes on the left that never touch each other. 1 lane on the right, same person, same week, same business. The only difference is whether Tuesday knows what happens on Monday. Decision 6, timing. And this one has teeth. A text at 3 in the morning isn't just annoying. It's a complaint with your name on it. Built right, messages go out between 8 in the morning and 9 at night. In their local time. Worked out from their area code, not from yours. If somebody replies stop, everything stops. And there's a federal floor under all of this. The build enforces it. It doesn't leave it to whoever is on the shift. Same message, 6 hours apart. The 3:14 is in the morning version, is the one that gets reported. The 9:14 version is the one that gets read. Nothing was thrown away, it just waited. Decision 7. Somebody who spoke to you in March comes back in August. Most AI says, hi, what brings you in today? And everything you already know about them just evaporates. But there's a wrong way to fix this too. Nothing sounds more like a robot than based on our history. I see you contacted us before. Build right, it picks up where you stopped, the way a person would. And that's a rule your team can't switch off by accident. 3 openers. The 2 crossed out are the 2 that cost you money. The 1 left standing names the thing this leads was actually waiting on last time. Marcus never gets told that he's remembered. He just gets treated that way. Decision 8. Follow-ups. Just checking in is the most expensive sentence in sales because it asks for nothing and it tells them nothing. Built right, every follow-up gets written from scratch for that one person. It carries the reason it's firing. It has read the last 25 messages and it's banned from inventing a deadline to squeeze them. Fake urgency works once. After that, it's why they stop trusting you. Same day, same trigger, 2 very different cards. The left one has a blank where the reason should be, so checking in is generally the best it can do. The right one knows he asked for a quote and never got one, so that's what the message is about. Decision 9, the latter. When somebody goes quiet for a day, it doesn't chase them forever, and it doesn't give up after one try. Day 1, day 4, day 11, spaced out so it reads like a person remembering you, not software nagging you. The whole thing stops the moment they reply, or book, or buy. That's the default. And you can stretch it out to 10 step if your sales cycle is longer. Decision 10 is the one that embarrasses business the most. They bought on Tuesday. On Friday, your system is still asking if they're ready to buy. Built right, booked, or bought means stop. And one right cancels every message that was queued behind it. It checks again right before it sends, in case something changed while it was waiting. And it doesn't care who did the booking, your team, the AI, the same thing. Left, 3 messages after the sell. Every one of those makes a paying customer wonder what else they're not keeping track of. Right? Nothing. The best message on this slide is the one that never went out. Decision 11, what you actually handed. This is where most builds quietly fall over because somebody wrote a great prompt and gave it nothing else. You can talk about your calendar, you just can't see it. You can promise somebody you'll be in touch, but it can't write that into your CRM and it can't come back next week on its own. Every tool you skip is work that lands back on your desk. Same 6 tools, 2 setups. 1 switch on over here, 6 switch on over there. Identical software on both sides. Somebody just never finished a job on the left. Decision 12 is what happens when those tools actually fire. Talking is the smallest part of this job. Think about what a good person on your front desk does. Checks the calendars, books the slots, writes it down, tells the right person, chases it on Thursday. If your AI can only produce sentences, you've hired a receptionist with no hands. This is a log from one single conversation. On the left, one line. It sent a booking link and hoped. On the right, 6 real actions. The reply is 1 row out of 6. The other 5 are the work that would have otherwise be sitting on you. Decision 13. Handing over to a human. 2 ways to get this wrong. It drops a raw chat in your inbox with no idea what's going on. Or worse, it keeps talking over your team while they're mid-conversation with a customer. Built right, it writes you the summary first. It hands over when somebody's getting frustrated or straight up asks for a person. Then it goes quiet. And if you reply from your CRM, that silences it too. On the left, the customer asked for a human and the AI is still cheerfully answering. On the right is what should land on you instead. While you're getting it, what they want, where it stopped, and you open that and you already know what to say. Decision 14. What ends up in your system after the conversation is over? If all you get is a chat log, you got nothing you can run a business on. You can't filter it, you can't report on it, you can't tell what worked. Built right, the contact gets tagged, the fields get filled in, the pipeline stage moves, and the outcome gets written down. If it never reached your CRM as far as your business is concerned, it never happened. Same contact, same conversation, 2 records. The left is untouched. The right one tells you what Marcus wants, that there's no letter inside, that he's booked for Thursday morning, and anybody in your team can pick up cold and sound informed. Decision 15. When it says something strange, and at some point it will, can anybody tell you why? Usually the answer is no. So you go in, reword the prompt, and you hope. Built right, every turn is stored in full. You can see exactly what it was looking at and every tool it reached for. So now you're fixing a cause instead of guessing at a symptom. Left is what most people are working with, a sealed box. Right is one turn to open up what it saw, what it did, what it said back. That's 10 seconds of reading instead of a week of theories. And decision 16. Where the answers come from. If you don't give it your prices and your policies, it will make them up. And it'll sound completely certain while it does it. A wrong price is worse than no answer, because now you either eat the difference or you argue with the customer who has it in writing. Built right, it answers it out of your real documents. And it goes back over your site on a schedule so it doesn't drift. Medical and legal advice, it refuses. Same question. The left one guesses, and it guesses wrong with a smile. The right one answers from your booking policy and still gives them a way to book. Same confidence in both. Only one of them is standing on anything. Decision 17. What happens when somebody pushes back? Too expensive ends most chatbot conversations. Because the bot either dumps a brochure on them or invents a deadline to squeeze them. Built right, the top 10 objections are written into it. It agrees first, every time. It never argues. Then it asks which problem this actually is. Because too expensive is and not right now are completely different conversations. And a real no stops it cold. Left is the brochure. Notice it didn't answer anybody. On the right, the playbook is loaded and the reply hands this lead back a fact they gave themselves. Then he asks one thing. Is it the number? Or is it the timing? You can answer that without having to defend yourself, which is exactly what they do. Decision 18. And almost nobody does this one. Once a month, a person sits down and reads the conversations that didn't book, not a dashboard, the actual chats. You find the line that lost them, you change that one line, and you leave everything else alone. It's what you do with a new hire. You never put a salesperson on the floor and then never speak to them again. 5 months of the same agent on the left, one version, never touched again. On the right, 4 edits, and every one of them came out of a conversation that didn't book. Every change is dated and signed, and any version can be put back. That's a coaching record. So that's all 18 of them. Same lead walking in the door, same budget, same software available to both sides. 18 places where somebody made a call on a purpose or by accident, and this is in a test where 14 out of 18 is a pass. Get the timing wrong and you collect complaints. Get the stopping wrong and you annoy somebody who has already paid you. Any one of these on its own is enough to lose a lead. Here's what the right build has been worth. The number is bookings, not revenue, not traffic, not leads coming in, bookings. On our client builds, same traffic hitting the site, same offers, same people answering the phone. The only thing that changed was the build. So if you've already got AI in your business and it's not doing anything for you, don't go shopping for a better AI. Go back through those 18 decisions and find the ones nobody ever made.